Good day, everyone. So today we will be discussing Chapter 16, which is all about application controls and maintenance. So let's talk about IT processes. So dito sa IT processes, ginagamit natin yung COBIT framework. So specifically, yung acquire and maintain application software. So ang main goal dito is yung strategic alignment. So ibig sabihin, yung maintenance ng software, dapat align siya or tugma sa business goals natin para hindi sayang ang resources. So our control objectives include the whole process, from high-level design hanggang sa actual implementation and maintenance. So we want to ensure na every time na may upgrade or bagong system, safe ang quality and security nito. So let's talk about common application risk. So bakit ba kailangan ng controls? Kasi maraming risk. And ang common example are weak security. So ito yung pinaka-basic kasi kung madali lang ang password mo, madali din mapasok ang system. So kapag may unauthorized access, pwedeng manakaw ang sensitive data ng company or ng mga clients. And unauthorized access, kasi uso na ngayon ang work from home, lalong nagiging risky. So kung hindi secure ang connection, hackers can enter the system from outside the office. And meron din tayo tinatawag na data integrity risk like yung erroneous or falsified data input, inaccurate information, incomplete processing, and duplicate transactions. So input errors, yung tinatawag tayong garbage in, garbage out. So kapag mali ang ini-input, inaccurate din ang output. So may risk din like yung duplicate transactions and communication system failures na pwedeng maging cause ng delay ng operation. And other than that, meron din tayong operations and support risk like yung untimely processing. So ito naman kasi sa accounting, timing is everything. So kung ang system ay mabagal at hindi nakakapag-generate ng reports on time, baka ma-miss natin yung deadlines for taxes or audit. So, while yung communication system failure, ito naman yung kapag down ng system, hindi makakapag-usap ang computer sa main office at branches, kaya tigil din ang operations. And pag sinabi nating inadequate training and support, ito naman kasi kahit gaano yung kaganda yung software, kung ang staff ay hindi marunong gumamit o walang matatawagan pag nagkakaroon ng error, magkakaroon tayo ng system failure. So when we say end user computing, ito naman yung tools na tayo mismo yung gumagawa, like yung basic spreadsheet or database. So kahit simple lang sila, risky din ito. So bakit? Kasi madalas walang separation of duties. So isang tao lang yung gumagawa, nag-edit at nag-approve. So plus, kulang madalas sa backup and recovery options. So kapag na-corrupt yung Excel file na walang backup, back to zero ang work ng mga employees ng company. So, dito sa slide na to, i-discuss naman natin yung risk na associated sa electronic data interchange or EDI. So, kung saan, kailangan maging aware among auditors at management para makapag-set ng proper security at control mechanisms. So, ang isa sa pinaka-challenge dito ay ang interdependence. So, dahil kapag nag-fail ang system ng trading partner natin, damay ang operation ng company at pwedeng mag-lead sa loss of business continuity at application failure. Dahil digital na at paperless ang transactions, tumataas ang risk ng loss of audit trail at manipulation payments. So lalo na kung walang sapat na review bago ang transmission na pwedeng samantalahin ng mga hackers or insiders para sa fraud. So bukod sa loss of confidentiality ng sensitive information, kailangan din natin bantayan ang potential legal liability at ang risk ng overcharging ng third-party providers. So, and also yung possibility na magkaroon ng unrealized cost savings. So in short, dahil sa concentration of controls sa ilang tao at pag-rely sa computer system, ang anumang error ng communication at processing ay pwedeng maging result ng financial losses at inaccurate reporting. Kaya nagiging important ang strong controls at constant monitoring. So ano ang mangyayari kapag hindi na-manage ang EDI risk? So ito ay domino effect. So magsisimula tayo sa loss of audit trail, and next, increased exposure to ransom, blackmail, or fraud, and can result to disruption of cash flow. And in the end, it's not just about technical issues, it can lead to damage to reputation, and worst case scenario, financial collapse of the company. Kaya, critical talaga ang application controls. So para ma-prevent ang risk, we have three main types of application controls. So first, input control. So It validates authenticity, accuracy, and completeness before data enters the system. So, sinasigurado nito na valid, accurate, and complete ang data bago pumasok sa system. And while yung processing controls naman, it ensures data is accurately processed through the application without unauthorized addition, loss, or alteration. So, dito naman, chine-check na walang nawawala o nadadagdag na data habang pinaprocess ang software. While yung output controls, it ensures the integrity of the final product, secure distribution on a need-to-know basis, and accurate reconciliation. So, sinisigurado naman ito na yung final report ay tama at napaabot lang sa mga taong may need-to-know basis. So, let's move forward naman sa web-based application, risk, and controls. So, this application represent a strategic shift from traditional client-server models towards Web 2.0 technologies. So, the primary users here are classified as thick and thin clients. So, the shift to web-based system offers major advantages such as yung being cost-efficient, highly accessible, and increasing the velocity of business infrastructure. So, however, with accessibility comes risk. As you can see on the screen, there are several application security risks we must manage. So, this range from injections and cross-site scripting to broken authentication. We also have to worry about insecure cryptographic storage and insufficient transport layer protection. So if these controls aren't managed, the entire business data could be at risk. So now let's look at the documentation requirements. So documentation is not just paperwork. So it ensures the maintainability of the system and minimizes the likelihood of human error. So to be effective, it should be based on industry standards and must be updated every time a modification is made. And a complete documentation package consists of flowchart, data flow diagram, and report layouts, along with clear instructions for personnel. So this documentation is the backbone of the software application lifecycle. So whether we are in the development, acquisition, implementation, or maintenance phase, the documentation ensures that every step is recorded and can be audited or repaired if something goes wrong. So it's the map that keeps the system running smoothly. So we also have application maintenance. So there are three main types of maintenance to keep an application healthy. So first is corrective maintenance. So this involves emergency program fixes and routine debugging. While yung adaptive maintenance is about making accommodation for changes in the business environment. And yung perfective maintenance is where we focus on user enhancement and recoding for better efficiency. So to manage this, we must measure risk for application maintenance. So we look at metrics like the maintenance cost per application, the number of change requests, and the number of production problems, number of divergence for standard procedures, number of modules to return to development, time elapsed to analyze and fix problem, and percent of application software. So if we see a high number of modules being returned to development or long time frame to fix problems, it indicates a high risk environment that needs immediate management attentions. So that concludes our discussion for today. Thank you all guys for listening.